We are live. We have about 140 participants. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining the webinar today. Let's wait for 2 more minutes and then we can get started. Maybe in the meantime, why don't you type where you're dialing in from in the chat? Can you check if the chat is open now? Okay. All right. We have 227 people. So awesome. I think it's time to get started. So glad you guys could join the webinar today. So before we get started, I just want to set the tone here. So if you have any questions during the session, you have Q&A. So send in your questions and we will answer them whenever possible or at the end of the presentation. And we are recording this webinar, so you should receive the recording in a few days, so you can play back and watch it later. And yeah, it's time to get started. So good morning to everybody who's logging in from the US, and good evening to everybody from the rest of the world. Thank you for joining our webinar on transforming Google Analytics into a B2B marketing tool. So I'm Sanjana, and I'm the product marketing manager here. And I have Dara, who's the head of growth. And I have Helena, who's our customer success engineer on the panel. And the agenda for today is very simple. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn what is Google Analytics Connector, how it works, and the different use cases of this connector. And at last, pricing. And after that, we'll open it up for Q&A. So let's get started. I'm going to start by playing this short explainer video that covers what is a Google Analytics Connector. So let's watch it now.
Google Analytics has long been the backbone of every digital marketer's tech stack. But Google Analytics is only able to provide insights on individual visits, not companies. This leaves a gap when B2B marketers try to uncover how their efforts are impacting revenue. That gap is about to be filled with Leadfeeder's Google Analytics connector. How? Leadfeeder seamlessly integrates with Google Analytics to show firmographic data as custom dimensions. The data will include company name, website, industry, revenue, and more, thereby transforming Google Analytics into a B2B marketing tool. Using Leadfeeder's Google Analytics connector, you can expand traditional Google Analytics reports with firmographic data. You'll be able to identify the exact campaigns driving valuable companies and tie revenue back to your marketing activities. Optimize your Google Ads retargeting campaigns by 1. Focusing your retargeting campaigns on only relevant companies visiting your website. 2. Personalizing the messaging in your retargeting campaigns by industry or company size. Import Google Analytics firmographic data to other platforms like Google Data Studio to create interactive dashboards of the companies visiting your website. So what are you waiting for? Transform your Google Analytics into a B2B marketing tool by signing up for a free trial today.
All right, so I think you got the gist of what this product is all about. But I also want to pinpoint why you should consider Google Analytics Connector. And there are 3 simple reasons. So Google Analytics is a great marketing tool to track and understand user behavior on your website, but it's not built for B2B. So what do I mean by it's not built for B2B? Well, Google Analytics only provides insights on individual visits and not on accounts or companies. So it doesn't provide any firmographic insights about the types of companies that are visiting your website and navigating through all your web pages. So it's really difficult for a B2B marketer to uncover how their marketing efforts are impacting revenue. And even with GA4 in place, this hasn't improved. So you still can't see any firmographic information about your website visitors in your Google Analytics account. Now, this is where Google Analytics Connector comes into the picture. Our connector is an add-on that transforms your Google Analytics into a B2B marketing tool by giving you insights on the companies that are visiting your website. So by using GA connector, you'll be able to access all the firmographic data of the companies directly in Google Analytics. It's that simple. So I hope you got the gist now. I'm going to pass the mic to Helena, where she's going to show you how it works in detail.
Thank you, Sanjana. I'm going to share my screen. And here you can see I'm in a web visitor for my testing account. You can see it here. If you click the drop down, it takes you to connectors, which you click on. And when the connectors open, you would switch here. And if this will be disabled, I have another one open, that's why it's still enabled. But I can see you here. You will add analytics here in the second configuration. I have it pre-configured here, so I can show you how it's gonna look like. Here you will have shown the universal Google Analytics, which you use already. If you don't know which one you use, then you can go onto your Google Analytics and look up here in admin, in property settings, and it will show you the number. This one I have connected with a different website. So I have to move this thing over. And let's switch me out. So I'm gonna keep showing it here. Doesn't matter. So while we are here, we have to set up custom dimensions from company name, for industry, for all the firmographics which are available. I can show you here. I'll switch which one I don't have yet. Maybe the Facebook profile. And custom dimension, I have to choose it from Google Analytics. So again, I'll go here into admin and create property. I'll go down here in custom definitions, custom dimensions, and I will set them up here. I already have some set up. The new one I will make will look like this. I'll name it lead feeder Facebook. And set up here for session or user as well works. And create. Done. Now I have it here. Lead feeder Facebook. I can see that the index for the dimension is 16. That means I'll go back into here and choose number 16. And this is a fallback value, which I can leave for not set, or if I want to understand it better, I can also say no Facebook data is available, no Facebook available. And I hit plus and I save it. So this is how you set up the mapping for your universal Google Analytics. After you do the mapping, you will be able to switch on enable here. For you, it will be disabled. Now I will show you also for GA4, in case you use that one. You can set up new configuration here. I have it already preset. Again, you will need the property ID for GA4. That means you have to be, again, in your Google Analytics. Need to move in here. And I'll go here in GA4. And it's gonna switch over. Again, if you don't know what is the ID, you can find it in here, property settings. You can find it in here. It's gonna show you what's the number. Okay, and here again, you have to do the mapping. So I have company name, I'm gonna send it as Leadfeeder company name, and then I set up a fallback value. I can again show you one which I don't have yet. Let's do LinkedIn profile this time, send it as Leadfeeder LinkedIn, and I can choose different fallback value, plus, and then save. Again, I have to switch it off, switch it on, sorry, to enable it. Then I'll go back into Google Analytics in the GA4, make sure you're in your GA4. And I will configure the custom definitions here, which takes me in here. I already have some, but I'm gonna add new one just to show you. So here I'm choosing one. The Facebook one won't show here yet because it takes some time to do the mapping. So, but if I choose this one, let's say, Leadfeeder company name, I can call it Leadfeeder company name. Event is user. This one is already taken. So country. This one I don't already have. This way you don't do any duplicates, which is really helpful. Save. And it's gonna be added here. What is really cool with GA4 is that you can see when somebody is visiting in real time. So if I'm gonna come here in the real time setup, I can show you here. I go on my, this is just my testing website. And I added this little parameters here. So I look like from Amazon. And if I go back to analytics, you can see that there is one person there. And if I scroll down, Leadfeeder company name, should take some time. No, so maybe somebody else is there. So let's refresh it. And go back in here. Refresh this one. Yeah, you can see that there are two people now. And it should show me that it's, oh, so it's me visible as Leadfeeder. I'll try it again. To override that. But anyways, you would see it here, who is coming here. I don't have it. Amazon, yeah, now you can see it. So you can use this little parameter to show you if you are testing it, if you don't have traffic all the time coming people over to your website, you can test it with this little parameter, which I think is provided in the Help Center articles. And now I will give this over to Direct.
Hey everyone, yeah, thanks Helena. So yeah, like as you can see there, it's pretty easy to set up the GA connector. Like there's no additional code required on the website on top of the existing Google Analytics for Leadfeeder code. Like once you have both of them on your website, you can just configure it in within settings of Google Analytics and within Leadfeeder. But I think we need to kind of take it back of like why people would actually want to set this up on their website. So we're going to take you through like the main like use cases of what people can use this connector for. So like my role within Leadfeeder is the head of growth within the marketing team. And like within my role at Leadfeeder and in other companies I've worked for, like Google Analytics is something that I've been using on a day-to-day basis. And it's one of my favorite like digital marketing tools. It's something that I use on a day-to-day basis. It's a very powerful tool. It tells you a lot about the number of users, number of sessions that are coming into the website, but it's been built for a B2C customer rather than a B2B customer. So like you're seeing the number of users, the number of sessions and what they're doing on the website, but it doesn't provide you with any insight into the types of companies that are coming to the website, either the number of companies that are coming to the website or the quality of them companies. So you don't really know if what you're working on is attracting the right type of visitors to your website. So I've been very excited to see this tool come down the line. It's something that I'm very keen to use from our side, and we've been like using it for the last couple of months from our side. So I'm going to walk you through some of the use cases that we've been using inside at Leadfeeder. We're going to start off with like the enhanced reporting. So most digital marketing tools use Google Analytics as their source of truth for their website performance. So they take all this information, and this is like what they judge the performance of their digital marketing efforts on. And while it provides great insight into the types or the number of users and the number of sessions of what they're doing on the website, it doesn't really align with some B2B metrics. So like when you're kind of looking at B2B marketing, you're looking at trying to bring in companies to the website, but not even just like the number of companies. It's really about the quality of the companies. Like some small companies aren't the same value as some like higher value companies that could be to your website. So you want to see the insights of the type of companies that are bringing into your website rather than just the number of users that are coming in to your website. Like having 50 users visit from one company like should be like these companies really interested in like using your product. So out of the box, GA provides absolutely no firmographic data about the companies that are visiting the website. You can't see the type of industries that are coming to your website. You can't see the type of employee size that they're coming in. You can't see the company names that you're coming in from. And this is where the Leadfeeder GA connector really kind of comes in to help. So like you just set this up as Helena has shown, and we import all the firmographic data that Leadfeeder has on the companies visiting your website. So the same information that's available in the Leadfeeder app about the companies that are visiting the website is now available in your Google Analytics account in real time. So for every session that's coming into the website, we're able to turn that into like a company name, industry, employee size, and you see that within your reports. So this allows you to kind of change your reporting on the number of like users that are coming in, to the number of companies and the types of the companies that are coming into your website. And you can kind of add this to any standard reports or any of the custom reports. But it's probably enough talking about what it looks like, and maybe we just show you what it looks like in practice, and you probably get a better sense of what can be done with it. So if you go into any, once you've set up like Helen has shown, you can go into any standard GA report. So I'll just get rid of this dimension for the time being to show you what like your normal default channels grouping report looks like. And you can go in, and all you need to do is add in a secondary dimension. So if you go into your secondary dimensions and type in Leadfeeder, you'll get all the like custom dimensions that you set up earlier available in the dropdown. This will be available within every report in the Google Analytics interface. So this, at the moment, we're looking at the default channel groupings, but if you want to look at the devices, the pages, your Google Ads, you can get this information on any report in there. And all you have to do is click on one of these fields. So if you want to click on the company name, it'll show you the company name that's coming in from each of these kind of channels. So why this is important is that like if you're investing heavily in a channel like your Google Ads or into your blog content or whatever channel that you're investing really heavily into, this will show you like which channels are attracting in the right type of customers. So you can see which ones, which type of customers are bringing in the right type of traffic to your website. So for us at Leadfeeder, like we have like some target industries that are like really important to us, like the types of companies that usually buy our products. So we can come in here and see like if our organic search is bringing in the right type of companies into our account. So look at our organic search here. It's highly focused in on the tech companies, so your IT and service companies, your internet, computer software, and your marketing and advertising agencies. These are among like our top industries that we sell to. We sell to a lot of industries, but these ones are like some of our biggest kind of customers come from these industries. So this would indicate that the type of content that we're producing on organic search is actually attracting the right type of companies to your website. But you can go like much deeper than this as well. Like, so like if you're looking at a specific blog post or a specific piece of content that you've written, and you want to know if this piece of content is actually bringing in the right type of customers to your website and getting interest among the right type of customers. So I've just picked one of our blog posts here, one about B2B marketing strategies, which like we're trying to attract in customers to Leadfeeder from this kind of blog post. So like we can see that there's people coming in from HubSpot reading this piece of content, there's people coming in from Adobe, and lots of other companies there. So this would indicate to us that this blog post is reaching the right type of customers. We can do something similar with our Google Ads. So you can look at each of your Google Ads keywords and see which companies are coming in from each keyword and which ones are attracting in. So it allows you to judge the performance of the marketing efforts before these companies have signed up for any sort of trial, that they're actually bringing in the right type of customers into your products. So that's like available within any of the standard reports in GA. You just need to click on secondary dimension. It's very similar within GA4. There's a similar feature where you can add in a secondary dimension, and it looks like very similar if anybody here is using GA4. And there'll be guides posted on how to use to set that up in GA4 as well. But it's not just available within the standard reports. You can also create custom reports. And here's like one that I've created earlier in terms of the types of companies that are coming in. So like certain things you can build within standard reports, but sometimes you want to get a level deeper within the custom reports. So just here are some examples of like industry. You can get like sessions page. You can see what industry are coming into your website. Similarly with company name, you can see the types of companies that are coming in. And so you can build these custom reports as well as the standard reports that are within GA. So that's kind of like the most basic use case, I would say, of this connector. Like it just enhances the reporting that's available within GA, and it allows you to bring your company data into the product that most customers use as their source of truth for their website performance. So it creates an alignment between your Leadfeeder data and your Google Analytics data by importing your Leadfeeder data into Google Analytics. But that's not the only use case that you have for this product. So there are a couple of other use cases that add real value for the customer as well. So like once you have the audience or data inside in Google Analytics, you can create Google Ads audiences from this analytics data. So like every other field within Google Analytics, this is a field that can be used to create an audience that can be used inside Google Ads itself for targeting. So you can build audiences based on industries, company size, or just in terms of like the identified companies that are on your website, and use these for both retargeting and prospecting campaigns. So there's a couple of different ways that you can set this up. For example, like if you're running retargeting ads, you might want to narrow the reach of them retargeting ads to only identified companies, you know, like rather than just individuals, people from companies themselves, so that your retargeting ads are much more focused in on your target market. You could also create like separate audiences for different industries. So if you sell to like different types of industries, let's say you sell to both manufacturing and tech, but your value proposition for these industries is very different, you can create one audience for software industry and one audience for manufacturing, and create different ads and messages and landing pages for your retargeting campaigns for them industries. So this should allow you to get a much higher click-through rate from your retargeting ads. You're targeting the messages to the types of industries or the size of the companies that are coming in to them audiences. You can also expand this out to prospecting campaigns. So like if you create an audience in Google Analytics, import it into Google Ads, you can create a lookalike audience based on that. So you could create a lookalike, you could create an audience based on the identified like target companies that are coming to your website, so the ones that reach your target account list, and create a lookalike audience on top of that. So you can use that in display campaign to like prospect to new customers to come in. We know if you're using Google Ads, they don't really provide a lot of firmographic targeting. So like it's hard to actually build like targeting audiences for new accounts just based on firmographic data, because they don't really give you much firmographic targeting. So this is a way for you to use to do prospecting by creating lookalike audiences on the types of valuable companies that are already interacting with your website. So again, let's maybe just walk you through how you kind of go and set this up. So if you go into Google Analytics, all you need to go into your admin and into your audience definitions, and within audiences, you can create an audience here. So we have some of these already created. So we have one for all companies identified or for software companies identified. So this allows you to show you that you can create like narrow targeted audiences, but also just all the companies that are coming to your website. So like if you want to create an all companies website, you just go in and just kind of create a filter that shows all the companies that are visiting your website. Similarly, if you just want to narrow it in towards the software industry, you can just kind of target them specific industries. So like to create one for like, you just create a filter for a company name matches this piece of code here, which will be in the Help Center article. That just means that it's matching any company that's on that list. And if you click apply next, and you can just link it here directly towards your Google Ads campaigns. Similarly for the like industry ones, you just filter by industry, and this will show you all the kind of software companies that are coming into your website. Then all you need to do is go into Google Ads, and you can create audiences, or you can just add these audiences to the campaigns that you're already using. These audiences will be available within your Google Ads account, and this will, just one thing to note there is that they only start recording from the time you create the audience within Google Analytics. So it will take a couple of days before you're able to use these within new campaigns for them to build it up. And there's just one criteria there for the display campaigns. The audience size needs to be a minimum of 100 people before you can start using it in a targeting account, which should just take most people a couple of days to kind of reach that threshold of them, that audience size. So that's another use case to bring it in to kind of improve the targeting of your Google Ads campaigns, both for retargeting and the prospecting campaigns. And another use case that we've seen on our side is to create like more powerful Google Data Studio dashboards. So similar to Google Ads, once your data is available in Google Analytics, you can import it into most Google products. So another product that you can import it into is Google Data Studio. And from this, you can create really powerful interactive dashboards of the companies visiting your website, which kind of allows you to kind of get a better visual aspect of the types of companies, the industries, and what they're actually doing on your website. And this can be more powerful than our current Data Studio integration. Both of them have areas where they're better than the other one. This one in particular, if you want to get more deeper insight, because we're matching the lead feeder data with the Google Analytics data, it allows you to kind of segment into lots of different like fields that we don't have within lead feeder itself. So any attribute that Google Analytics stores by itself, that can be added into the report, and you can kind of cross that over with the lead feeder data to get really deep insights in terms of like what is actually bringing your target companies to your account. So let's just take a look at what this like dashboard looks like in practice. So this is like a sample dashboard. Again, there's a Help Center article where we've created this template, so it allows you to create this dashboard pretty easily. You just need to link in your Google Analytics account to it, and you'll be able to use this dashboard. So this gives you a very interactive and visual way to like see the companies that are visiting your website. It tells you the number of sessions that are happening from companies, the types of industries that you're coming in from, like what your industry mix is, which countries you're getting the most visits from, and like what channels, industries, and companies that these are coming from. But it's very interactive. So if you want to just look at a specific channel, let's say you're managing organic search at your company, and you just want to see like what's happening with organic search, come to the drop-down menu here, click organic search only, and it will filter the entire report just to contain organic search data. So now once this report loads, it's just showing you the insights solely based on the organic search performance of your website. So like if you wanted to see what companies are coming in through your organic search and the industries, you can see the industry breakdown and the company breakdown here. Furthermore, like you can filter, you can add in more filters to gain deeper insight. Like if you're interested in organic search in a specific market, like let's say the US is your main target market, you can just click on the country dashboard here or select it from the country drop down here. So let's just click on the United States again. Real time, the dashboard updates to show you the insights that are coming in and the types of companies and industries that you're tracking through your organic search in the US. So you can see that like the types of industries that are coming in through our organic search in the US and the types of companies that are coming in. If you want to get insights on a specific page, let's just reset this. If you just click reset here to bring the report back to its original form. But you can also dive into like insights on specific pages. So like if you just launch a new page and you want to see like how that's performing in terms of like the industries and companies that are coming to view this page, let's take this top lead generation tools blog article that we have. We can filter just based on that, and that will show you the types of industries and companies that are coming in and what regions that they are coming in from. So it'll allow you to gain deeper insights into the types of what's driving the most valuable customers to your website. So that's an example of one industry, but on top of that, like you can kind of get insights in terms of like your paid search ads and your direct traffic and referral traffic. Like let's say you have some referral partners, and you can judge the types of companies that they're bringing to your website to see if it's worth you investing more with them. Referral partners, similar with your paid search, you can dive down at the keyword level here and see like what keywords are driving the most valuable customers for your website. So you can see here through this report, like it allows you to get really deep insights in terms of the marketing performance of your website and move it away from just the top number of users that are coming in, the number of sessions that are coming in, to add real quality metrics in terms of like the types of companies that are coming in, what industries they're coming in from, and what are the size of these companies. Because like one visit from one company or one individual isn't equivalent to the same visit from someone else. Like certain stakeholders are a lot more valuable than other ones. So when you're seeing visits from like really high valuable companies, they're a lot more valuable than visits that are coming in from like some college students that have no purchasing power whatsoever. So it allows you to kind of really dive into the details of like what's actually driving the most valuable companies to your website. So that's the three biggest use cases that we've seen so far. These are not the only use cases. I'm sure there's people on this call who have different use cases for this product. That's always one of the most interesting things we see when we launch new features and products, that our customers come up with use cases that we mightn't have ever thought of ourselves. So like we're really interested to see what other use cases our customers come up with to get value out of this product. So I'm just going to pass it back over to Helen now, who's going to take you through one or two last bits and pieces about this connector.
Thank you, Derek. So if you are our customers for some time, you probably know that we have Google Analytics integration already, but that one sends data from Google Analytics to Leadfeeder. The data is not in real time, and it kind of makes Leadfeeder product, the web visitor product, smarter. This new Google Analytics connector is the other way around. The data is sent from Leadfeeder to Google Analytics. The data is sent in real time, and it kind of makes the Google Analytics and Google Ads smarter. Because it is sent in real time, there's slightly less time to do all the matching we have to do. So it might be slight difference between data you get into Google Analytics through the connector and you will see in your web visitor. So don't be surprised. Okay, if you can go to the next slide, please. And finally, pricing. So Google Analytics Connector is an add-on to our web visitor main product, which some of you, or hopefully all of you, already using. The pricing is 25% of your web visitor subscription. So if you already are subscribed, it's going to be 25% of what you pay. If you are in trial, that's going to be 25% of what you will pay. We also offer 2-week free trial, of course, so you can try it out, see for yourself how useful this new product is. And the trial, 2-week trial, is offered for trials. So those of you who are on a Leadfeeder trial now, or for premium subscription clients, it is not offered for a Lite account. So if you are in Lite, now is the time to subscribe again. And yeah, this is all for our presentation, and we will open the space for questions and answers, of course.
Awesome. I think the Q&A box is on fire. We have 23 questions. Let's take them one by one. So the first question is, if you run retargeting campaigns in Google Ads based on the firmographic data of the Leadfeeder, will it then target other people within the company if they haven't visited your website yet?
I'll take this one, Sanjana. So the answer to this is no, it doesn't. It's cookie-based retargeting, like all retargeting on Google Ads. The reason for that is we can't control what Google Ads does from their platform side. We can only send the identified users across to them. However, we have a product that's in advanced stage of development that we're going to be releasing in the next couple of months that will allow this functionality. It's not inside of Google Ads. It's actually with another ad platform that we'll be doing this, but it allow you to run display ads to companies that visit your website, but not just to the individuals that visit it, to the IP addresses of them companies that are visiting your website. So you will be able to target all the individuals of that company, not just the person who visited your website. So keep posted, keep your eyes peeled for that one. It will be available in the next couple of months.
Thanks, Tara. So next question is, how does making this change impact our HubSpot integration if we have one with Leadfeeder? Any considerations?
No, it shouldn't impact that. This isn't an integration, so it can be used in conjunction with HubSpot. It shouldn't impact your HubSpot integration.
And the next question is about pricing. This is already covered, so I'm going to dismiss this one. And we have one Leadfeeder account, but 2 different analytics accounts. Is it feasible to integrate a single Leadfeeder account into more than one analytics instance?
Is it feasible to integrate a single Leadfeeder account into more than one Google Analytics instance?
I can answer that one probably.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Yeah.
Yeah, it is possible. And when I was showing the configurations, you could see that I had the GA4 and the Universal next to each other. And there's another spot to do more integrations or configurations. So you can configure it as many as you need. So yeah, that is possible.
All right. Next one is, can you show how to add more than one dimension, industry and company name?
Yeah, so on this one, let's see, maybe I can share my screen here. So like within a traditional Google Analytics report, you can't actually expand it out like by more than one dimension. You can only add one dimension at a time. That's where you need to come up into these custom reports here. So if you come into the custom reports, like I had examples here that only show like one of the industries, but you can actually, let's see, can we do some real-time changes here? So just go into edit, and you can add in like a secondary dimension here. So if we go to the industry report, sorry, what did you want? Industry and company name, was it? So you just add in a secondary dimension here. So search Leadfeeder again, and you can add in a secondary dimension here. And if you save, you get the 2 dimensions. So you can add as many of them beside each other as you like in the custom reports. You just can't actually do it in the standard reports because they only allow you to add in one secondary dimension. You can't add a 3rd dimension to the report.
Great. Next question is it better to set it up as sessions or users? What would be the reasons to choose one versus the other?
I can take that one as well. In reality, there's only a small difference between them. So we'd recommend using it using users rather than sessions, because if it's a session, it only matches that session that's identified. So if that user comes back and we don't identify them, let's say they come back on a mobile network, or if they come back like from a different IP address that we don't identify, then they wouldn't get identified. Whereas if you set it up as users, we only need to match them once with the lead feeder data, and then every future session gets matched as that user. So it's slightly better if you use users, but in reality, 99% of the time we do like match them every time. So it's only a small difference, but it's better if you just use users slightly.
Awesome. So next one is the LinkedIn data. Is that the company page or personal LinkedIn accounts?
I can answer this one. So it's the company page, LinkedIn page, which you have the link, if you mean the custom dimension, which I was setting up.
Great. So next one is, if you set up the connector in GA3, how does the data transfer when you switch to GA4, or does it not transfer?
Yeah, I can take this. It doesn't transfer automatically. You'll have to follow the setup guide that Helena was showing there. So there's a separate setup guide for GA4. It only takes 2 minutes as well. So you just need to set it up slightly differently in GA4. It's just a slightly different way that custom dimensions are set up in GA4. This isn't just lead feeder. Everything really custom in GA4 that's not standard has to be set up again. If anyone has went through the GA4 setups, like if you have custom setups, you need to set them up again when you move over to GA4 from Universal Analytics. But it only takes 2 minutes, so it's not really a big issue. And you can run the two of them at the same time. If you're running both Universal and GA4, you can have both of them running at the same time.
Dara, can you please stay close to the mic? You were not audible a little bit. It's fine
Okay.
now. Okay. Okay. So next question is, I suppose you use IP address to match visitors to companies. Do you see any issues with people working from home and not in the office anymore? I guess this is answered with this blog here. But do you want to take it up again?
I just see what's answered here. Yeah, so the lead feeder product by itself, I suppose, works really well at identifying people working from home, because we have more ways to match people than just based on the IP address alone. We can enrich from other ways that we can identify people. The GA connector isn't as strong at this point because that matching doesn't happen in real time. So we need a little bit of time. It's not just solely based on the IP address. So it doesn't always work as well, the GA connector, for people working from home, because we need to match versus the IP address in real time. So that's when Helena said there's always sometimes a difference between the people working, or what we identify in web visitors, and what we can send to the GA connector. This is the area where it's a little bit more challenging for us to kind of identify them, because we don't match them based on their IP address all the time.
Great. Next question, can reports be automated in any capacity? For instance, daily or weekly? Are there any email alert capabilities?
Yeah, so maybe I'll just show you this as well. Both in the custom reports, so this one that I shared a few times, once you come into the share settings here, you can set up like this to be emailed on any frequency. So that's one way of doing it. Personally, I prefer the Data Studio. I think the reports are much more visible in here, and there's much more interactivity that you can send to them. So in here, maybe it's not in here, but I think there's a way for you to send these reports. Yes, schedule email delivery. So you can send these reports here at any time frames that you want. And what it'll do, it'll actually bring people into these dashboards that are interactive. That's why I personally prefer this. The Google Analytics way is just one-off report that people can't dive down into the data themselves. So I personally prefer using this, because when you just send them a link and it sends the specific time frame that you want to send, and it allows them to dive into this. So you can automate it in either of those ways, whichever works best for you.
Great. And next question is, can you use this for channels like LinkedIn or FB or just Google Ads?
At the moment, this only works with Google Ads because we're sending the data to Google Analytics. They don't have any integrations with LinkedIn ads or with Facebook ads. Again, I'll refer back to that other product that we have where, well, actually for LinkedIn ads, you can actually just export your company list from web visitors and import that to LinkedIn ads, and you can retarget them directly based on that. So like that's one way to do it already, that already exists within LinkedIn ads. And again, as I mentioned, we have another advertising tool that's in development that will help us to target on LinkedIn ads and via display network. So that'll be available in the near future.
Okay, and is there a minimum number that you need for lookalike audiences? Example, it's 100 in Facebook.
I think it's 100 as well in Google. I'm not 100% sure, but it's 100 to use the retargeting audience. And I think it could be the same in Google, but I could be wrong on that one. I might need to double check that.
Awesome. And can the retargeting data be applied to LinkedIn ads?
I think we just covered that. So not through this network or this method, but if you have a web visitors account, you can export the list from there in a format that's uploadable to LinkedIn. So that's like something that you can do there.
Great. And the next question is already answered by Alicia, so I'm going to dismiss this one. And if you use the all companies audience and targeting mode, would you be excluding users that are not logged into an enterprise account?
I'm not sure I understand the question. Use all the companies. Like the identification isn't based on people being logged in to an account, it's based on like the IP addresses. So I don't think that should be an issue.
All right. And next one is, will this allow you to see which companies have converted in Google Analytics?
Yes, yes. So you can see like any of them reports there, you have your goal settings in Google Analytics. Yeah. So if you haven't like great reporting on the companies that are converting or where they're converting from, this will allow you to show you which companies are coming in through which platform. So yeah, if you have your goal set up in Analytics, you can easily see which companies are converting there.
Dara, can you again come closer to the mic? Okay. All right. So next one, as an example of the utility of this integration, what are the top 3 Google Analytics reports that you actually use in your product or marketing team in which the new dimensions are included?
I can take this one again. Like, I think this really depends on the company that you're working for. So like what we use isn't going to always translate very well into like what other people use, but I'll answer it in terms of the ones that we see the most value of. So like blog posts. So like we invest a lot in our blog content, and when we relaunch new blog posts, we can see if they're targeting the right type of companies and the right type of companies are coming in from these accounts. So like we can look at our blog content, the ones that are getting the most traction, and see which companies are coming in. So that allows us to see which companies or which blog posts which topics I suppose we should invest more our blog content into. So it's a really good like early indication of success of our blog content. Very similar in the Google Ads side of things. So like for our Google Ads side of things, the reports, like you can drill down to a keyword level, which allows you to see which keywords attract the best companies to your account. So like not just waiting for them to sign up, like you can see like which keywords are coming in. So it gives you an indication of which keywords you should like invest more money into bidding on your website. So I think they're 2 really like important ones that we've been using thus far, but like I think it will like be different for each companies where they find value out of this.
Great. Next one is, if you use the software company's audience and targeting mode, would your search and display ads only be shown to employees from software companies?
Yeah, like So one thing to note is the search limit is a lot higher than the display limit for targeting. So for search, you need to like reach 1,000 for you to use it in a campaign. So that makes it a little bit more challenging to use on the search side. But yeah, if you add this as a targeting option, it narrows the reach of them campaigns to only people from them companies.
Okay. And how many types of data visualizations are employable in this connector dashboard? Can you import your own visualizations, or is there a set you can only use?
So it's fully customizable. So anything that you can create within Google Data Studio is possible to create within this report. We have a template report there, which is just helps people to get started. But if you are a really advanced user of Data Studio, you can create any sort of visualizations that I'm aware of. Like, so the limitation, we're just importing the data into Google Analytics. So anything that you've already created within Google Analytics should be possible with this data. It's just another dimension within your Google Analytics integration to Data Studio.
Great. Can you drill down to see companies visiting a particular page directly in Analytics without using Data Studio?
Yeah, that's possible. I can show you. Have we time, or are we running out of time for?
No.
Okay, yeah.
That's fine. You can show.
Yeah. So yeah, like if you go into the behaviors report, into site content, into all pages, that'll bring you into the page view section. Just click the page that you want, and again, just add in the secondary dimension here. So was it industries or companies that you wanted? So if it's companies, you just need to select here, and it will show you the companies that are visiting that specific page.
All right. Next one is, can you show the slide again where explaining why to use the connector and not the integration with Google Analytics?
I can speak to this. It's not that you should use either or, it's more showing which one does what. The Google Analytics integration sends data from Google Analytics to Leadfeeder and makes Leadfeeder smarter, but it's not in real time. And Google Analytics connector sends data from Leadfeeder to Google Analytics, and it's in real time and makes the Google Analytics smarter. So in the best case scenario, it's probably good if you use both and make use of everything being smarter.
Okay. And next question is, are there any limits to custom dimensions?
Yeah, in the universal, you can set up, I believe, 20. And in GA4, I didn't see any limits there. Or is there?
It's 50.
50, okay.
Great. And next one is, for data such as industry, where do you get that data from to categorize accounts?
So the industry data is like, it's in our Leadfeeder database, like we have that on every company. So it's the same thing that you would see that's in our Leadfeeder database on the company. So like we have a database that like a company information that has lots of fields, and industry is just one of them.
All right, so that's it we have in the Q&A box, and in the chat I see few. Isn't country already specified in GA4? And there's one more there. Yeah, country is a filter, or like a field that's already available on both Universal Analytics and in GA4. There mightn't be as much value in that field, but there is a slight difference there. We use the country, ours is showing the office location country, not the visit location. So sometimes there would be slight differences there, like we map our visits to the closest office location. So it might be slightly different, probably more different at a city level than at a country level. But yeah, there's probably, that field is already available in there, even though there's a slight difference in it. There probably isn't as much value in that. One more question. What is the value of the connector if we do not use Google Ads and can already see some of the fields in Google Analytics?
Like, I'm not sure how they'd be seeing the industry. Like, the main fields that add value are the company name, industry, and employee size. I'm not sure how they'd be seeing them in analytics without this connector. Maybe there's another way of doing that. I think the enhanced reporting on that side and the ease of reporting within the Data Studio, the use cases 1 and 3 are where that's value if they're not using Google Ads.
Awesome. So I think that's all we have with the questions. So that's the end of it. Thank you all again for joining the webinar today. You will receive the recording in a few days. Keep your eyes on the inbox until then. And if you want to set up a call with one of our sales reps, then please reach out to us in the support and we'll schedule a call with one of our sales reps. And yeah, that's it. See you again in the next webinar, and thanks and bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.